Thanks for choosing ScratchPay's on-demand training. In this recorded session, we'll cover what ScratchPay is, including a peek into the applicant's perspective, and how your team will use your practice dashboard to process payments. Welcome to our ever-expanding network of providers with the common goal of helping as many people, children, and pets as possible. If you have any questions that come up from this webinar, I encourage you to jot them down in the questions box that you'll find when you scroll down this page, and one of our Scratch payers will get back to you within 48 hours to help answer them. Let's get started. ScratchPay is a friendly payment plan alternative that helps more people afford the cost of care by spreading the upfront sum into smaller, more affordable chunks. Applicants would visit our website from any internet-connected device, risk-free, where they'll get to review and accept from their pre-approved offers. We'll email them all of the details they need to know and simultaneously email the practice. From your practice dashboard, which is your hub for processing these plans, you'll confirm the amount that they're applying to their payment plan, and we'll direct deposit that amount minus the flat provider fee to the account that you've linked. Just as each industry is as unique as your patients, your provider fee will be unique too. Please visit get.scratchpay.com and select your industry's custom page to view these details. When we extend an offer to applicants, it will always be unique to their credit profile. This means that not everyone will see all three plan types, only the ones they were individually pre-approved for. We will present these in a way that's easy to understand and that reiterates that our plans never have any hidden fees. There's no prepayment penalties, no deferred interest, and never any hard credit checks ever. First up is our Take 5. This is a 5-installment payment plan where if the applicant accepts an approved amount up to $1,000, then they will be asked to make the first installment as a down payment, so 1/5 or 20% of what's due at that time. This is a 0% interest plan where they would have 13 days to use the funds. Next is our Take a Year and Take 2 Years plans. These are our 12 and our 24-month payment plans with a varying interest rate. This APR is a simple interest unique to the applicant's profile. These plans can help with invoices up to $10,000, and they would have 30 days to utilize the funds. Let's take another look at Take 5 since it's our newest payment plan option. This works similarly to our other plans in that there is a soft credit check performed to get an idea of the applicant's overall credit profile, but allows us to approve more people for financing because it expands our approval threshold into the mid-500s and puts some emphasis on their ability to make down payments for that first installment while establishing autopay for the remaining 4 payments using a valid debit card or credit card in that applicant's name. We're already seeing more approvals using Take 5 because of this inclusive approval process. Not only are we able to help people with financing that might not have had options available before, but we're also able to help clients who can financially afford the cost of care, but would be more comfortable spreading it out over time without interest. The application is all hosted online on our website at scratchpay.com, which is accessible from any internet-connected device, though normally this will be done right from their mobile phones in your exam room or lobby. We start by asking for the amount that they're looking to borrow, and this number doesn't impact whether or not they get approved. So I recommend always asking for the high end of that treatment plan you've presented, and we'll let them know what they qualified for, regardless of if it's more or less. As they type out the name of your practice, this will auto-populate. If for some reason they choose the wrong one, our support team can move that to the right hospital. And we ask them for a contact phone number so that we're able to send them a verification code by text message. And this is going to be part of our identity verification process. So it's important that they're only ever providing their information. If for some reason we're not able to confirm that they are who they tell us they are, that might slow down this approval process by triggering a manual review. Once they've provided us with that code, that'll bring them to the bulk of the application, where we're asking all of those standard identifying questions that you would anticipate in any financing application. That does include asking for their social security number, which we'll use for that cross-reference identity check, as well as that soft credit check. We'll protect it all using the highest levels of security and encryption, so they don't have to worry that this info is ever at risk or exposed. In this process, we'll also ask about an estimated credit score, which we're just using to help pre-qualify them. They can select Don't Know without any impact to the approval status. And that last step before we show them what they individually qualify for is just reviewing our terms of service and our communication agreements. These are all super straightforward, so I'm not anticipating anybody getting hung up here. Once they've reviewed and consented, that's what'll bring them to their unique offer. Remember, this is unique to each applicant, so not everybody's going to see all three plans, only the ones that they qualified for. At this point, they haven't been opted into a plan, so if they don't like the terms we're able to offer them, are able to walk away from that offer. If we offer them this Take 5 plan, we want to make sure they understand the amount that would be due as a down payment that day. And for our 12 and 24 Take a Year or Take 2 Years plans, what that unique interest rate came out to and adds up to for the duration of all of those payments. Now that Take 5 pre-approval is only contingent on being able to successfully process that initial payment as the down payment and establish autopay using a valid debit card or credit card in their name. If they need to add an additional form of payment for those additional 4 installments, they can contact our support team who's able to help with that. For our Take a Year and Take 2 Years plans, they would be presented with this payment plan agreement. This is just a contract agreeing to pay ScratchPay back based on the terms of the plan that they had just selected. Should be pretty straightforward, and we'll send them a PDF copy of this in their confirmation email so that they have it on hand. Now, once they've accepted their payment plan, we'll email all of the information they need to know about their plan so that they have that on hand, while simultaneously emailing the practice that this client plans to pay you with ScratchPay. That notification email will let you know what client plans to pay with ScratchPay, the funds that they have available, and remind you the length of time you have to use those funds. It will also include this button at the bottom, which is called a login link. When you click this, that'll take you to my.scratchpay.com and log you in automatically using some encrypted credentials. Once you're logged into the dashboard, you may notice that things look a little bit different if you're returning. We've consolidated that 3-tab system to be one main home screen where you can see all of the plans that your team has available to work with. You'll still have the message center at the top where you can see any announcements coming from ScratchPay, and you'll have your search bar below that. This is where you can quickly locate any plan that your team is working with, and we have some preset filters here so that you can quickly find a plan if you know it's in a specific activity stage. I recommend working out of the last 7 days just so that you have everything current on hand. Now you'll still see the client's information to the left. If you're a veterinary practice, you will have the pet's name in parentheses next to it. We'll still remind you when that client applied and was approved, the length of time that you have to use those funds, and of course the amount that is available for use. For a new plan, when you go to finalize it, you would click the Finalize button to the right. When you get this pop-up, we're asking for the amount that they wish to apply to their payment plan. That can be any number between $0 and the amount that they have available. Once you've confirmed that amount, and typically this will be the invoice total, that is going to initiate that direct deposit transfer to the practice's bank account that you've linked. Now, for all of the plans that you have worked with, that you've already finalized, you'll be able to come back in within that 13 or 30-day window to adjust the amount that was used if they returned for additional services or product. You would do that by clicking on the Edit button to the right. And when you see this pop up, we're asking you for the new total amount that they're applying to their plan and a brief explanation why you needed us to adjust it. Keep in mind that's a combined invoice total. So if it's more than one visit, meaning likely more than one invoice, that you add those together for us. Once you've confirmed that change, that will send that to payment processing so that we can pay that additional amount. And you'll see that as a separate line item in your practice dashboard so that it reconciles more accurately with your practice management software. If a plan were rejected, that means that you finalized it for $0. And all that's saying is that we didn't use the funds that day. If they were to return, and that's one of our 12 or 24-month plans, you'll be able to reopen that plan during that 30-day window before it expires. You would do so by clicking the Reopen button to the right. This is going to bring up that same pop-up that you saw previously with your finalized loans, asking for the amount they wish to apply to their plan and a brief explanation why you needed us to adjust it. Once you've confirmed that change, that'll be sent to payment processing so that we can direct deposit that amount to the practice's bank account. On the left-hand side, you'll find the sidebar navigation window, where you'll be able to access resources as well as different settings for your practice dashboard. If you're new to ScratchPay, I recommend the Get Started tab, where you'll have some quick training materials to get you familiar as you set up, and of course, where you'll be able to link the bank account where you want that direct deposit transfer to go to. For your team that are joining you, new members or veterans who need to learn more about ScratchPay, we have some more in-depth resources here, including the one-page guide that you can keep at your front desk, all of your marketing materials, including printable materials, and where you can find your custom application button for your website. And then lastly, you'll find your account settings at the bottom. You'll be able to download your monthly statements right to Excel. And of course, you'll be able to manage which users have access to the dashboard. Keep in mind that if it's not added here, they won't receive those notifications or be able to log in with a password. So I recommend at least one general hospital email so your team can access it as needed to finalize those plans. You can always remove emails later if they're no longer good for your practice. Now, before you exit your dashboard, I recommend going ahead and bookmarking it. That way you're going to have your practice dashboard easily available without having to search for one of those notification emails or typing out that URL each time. If you're accessing your dashboard without a notification email, you'll visit the portal at my.scratchpay.com. Provide the registered email address that you're logging in with, and let us know which of the two methods you'd like to log in using. You can have us send you a login link by email or use password access for a more traditional login process. If you haven't set up your password yet, click the Forgot or Never Set a Password and we'll send you a setup link. I encourage you to keep track of ScratchPay payments in your practice management software by making sure that ScratchPay has been added as a payment option. Whenever your team goes to apply one of these payments to your patient's balance, make sure you're using the confirmed amount found under your finalized loans. Now that you know how ScratchPay works and how to finalize those plans from your dashboard, when should you offer it? The short and easy is that ScratchPay is here to help with any service or product that is offered at your practice. While we've traditionally seen financing options offered mostly for emergency care in the past, there's a huge opportunity to help more patients by offering it for wellness and preventive care as well. Remember that while many people may be able to afford the cost of care in one lump sum, most people are more comfortable moving forward with a treatment plan if they can spread the costs out into smaller payments without having to extend the timeline for care. Using these digital marketing materials, you can get the conversation started, and in some cases, even avoid having the conversation altogether. You can find these print-friendly formatted brochures, Take 5 cards, and more at get.scratchpay.com/kit. Luckily, talking about ScratchPay shouldn't be another difficult conversation for your client service team, and will give them a chance to be the hero in your client's eyes. Whether someone is hesitant to book an appointment because of funds being tight, or calling in to ask if you have payment plans, you're able to confidently say that you do with ScratchPay. For your medical team, you're able to alleviate some of the pressure when presenting treatment plan estimates to clients by offering ScratchPay proactively. They're able to take advantage of the gold standard recommendations that you're making by spreading that upfront cost out over time more comfortably. While you're using ScratchPay, you have resources available to help you troubleshoot questions. You can reach our ScratchPay support team 7 days a week during some scheduled hours by phone or 24/7 by email at support@scratchpay.com. You could even reply directly to your notification emails to keep communications all in one place. Remember that if you had any questions from this webinar, please type those into the questions box that you'll find when you scroll down this page, and one of our ScratchPayers will respond within 48 hours. Thank you again for your partnership, and we look forward to helping you help more patients.